We have our first real deck, and I chose Phantom Knights. Phantom Knights is a deck that fell off the tier list, but it will see his way back up since it has a good engine and quite few good options to play with. Phantom Knights is a deck that revolves around sending things to the graveyard and banishing them for them to activate effects and giving you access to either monsters or traps. Today I will try to make Phantom Knights easy to learn, even though it's a complex deck compared to some of the other meta decks, but if you break down, it's actually not that complex. First, with the deck profile. I will try to separate the monsters in three categories: openers, extenders, and tech. Openers are cards that you start your combo with. First opener we have is Thorn Scales. Thorn Scales ability, you discard one, you send one Phantom Knight to the graveyard. So you potentially can get two of your Phantom Knights in the graveyard. I also added Tour Guide from the Underworld, so when you summon them, you can summon a fiend to your field that will be either Graph or Melee Branch. And when you do, you deny their effects, so both of those cards won't die. I will get to those cards later. Now, since this is not Duel Links and 6 cards are not enough for you to have pretty good consistency, I added the Dangers card, Danger Jackalope and Danger Tsuchikono. You activate their effects in your hand, you can special summon them, so you don't spend your initial summon with. As our extenders, we have Psychic Wielder and Psychic Tracker. Both of them, if you control a level 3 monster, you can summon them to the field without having to waste your normal summon. That is your core mechanics. You want to open with one and follow up with the other, and that will allow you to have access to your extra deck. Now, to combat the meta, I have some hand traps. One of them is Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring that you can get in your bundles. It denies the effect of cards like Max C, for example. For help with consistency, I have Emergency Teleport that I can summon either Psychic Wielder or Psychic Tracker from my deck. If my starting hand didn't have extenders, I can just extend with the spell. Called by the Grave is a very important one. It makes you not being susceptible to Ash Blossom and such things. Phantom Knight's Wing either boosts your monster attack by 500, or if it's in the graveyard you can banish it and summon one Phantom Knights. Now, the extra deck. That's our main goal, to summon cards from the extra deck. Our main boss monster is number 86. If you summon number 86 from the first turn, you basically disrupt the opponent for 2 turns. Combined with the other disruptions this deck has is an instant win. Because it cannot be destroyed by battle, it becomes a 3000 effect monster. It's unaffected by other cards' effects, so you can be destroyed by card effects. Your opponent cannot normal or special summon monsters, that's huge, so he spent 2 turns only with setting and passing. And you can destroy all cards your opponent controls if it's the case. What will enable that card is number 75. The reason we have number 75 is for the second skill, that is, you can attach him and the cards attached to him to number 86. Number 86 needs 5 materials, so to unlock his full potential, you need number 75. Your secondary control card is Breaksword. Breaksword has the ability to destroy a card on the field if you destroy one of your own. To summon number 86, you will need 2 4 stars and 2 3 stars. So to do that, you will rotate your cards from the deck to graveyard and the graveyard to field. And you will first summon Cherubini. Cherubini is an amazing monster that can send cards to your graveyard, same as Rusty Bardiche that you summon afterwards. You will be able to fill your field. You ask me, you have only level 3 cards, where is the level 4s? Well, the level 4s are Stained Greaves, he's summoned, or if you use his graveyard effect, you can summon a card and add 1 level to it, so it becomes level 4, either Bardiche or the card you summon it. And we have this trap right here that is called Shade Brigandine. Shade Brigandine summons itself in the field. It can be activated the turn you set it if you don't have any traps in your graveyard. It becomes a level 4 monster. One thing is to build the deck and know how it works, the other thing is to learn actually the deck. So in the process of learning, I separated a few interesting replays. The first one will be a replay with the full combo, and the second one with the alternatives when I don't have the full power on my hands. The first replay I managed to do my full combo, even not getting the perfect starting hand. I got a little bit lucky, but so I managed to pull it off. So I went first, and that's perfect for me. This is my starting hand. I started with Jackalope, and on a Strike of Destiny, my opponent chose Tsushikono, so I managed to summon both cards and draw one. That made me have 2 level 3 cards. That made me do my first Link summon. That is Cherubini. With Cherubini, I discarded one card to the graveyard. That card was Tainted Grease. Then I summoned Graph and tributed both cards to Link summon Rusty Bardiche. With the effect of Graph, I could discard Ancient Cloak from my deck and put Shade Brigandine in the field. Now I activated Stained Grease. I could summon a card and raise the level, and since I have no traps in the graveyard, I activated Shade Brigandine and summoned it as a level 4. I use Ancient Cloak effect on the graveyard to draw Turnscales. I summoned Turnscales and I summoned Silent Boots as well. So now I have 2 level 4s and 2 level 3s, so I can do my final combo. And with that, I summoned Rogomiad number 86 with 3000 attack, and I summoned number 75 in the field. I attach 75 to 86, and that way I have 5 cards attached to it, so my opponent can't do much. This turn he can't even special summon, so he will Sudden Pass. After that, I had to discard one card. I activated Rusty Bardiche ability. I sent Ancient Cloak to the graveyard and I put a Wing in the field. I set Ancient Cloak to draw Silent Boots, and summoning that made me being able to summon Turnscales, and with both of them I summoned Breaksword, and with Breaksword I just got rid of his monster, so I have the clean field to do whatever I want. I special summoned Tsushikono and I activated Wing, so I could summon basically 2 cards to my field and finish him off with my full power attack. At this point the match is already decided because he still have one turn that he can't summon, and I attacked with everyone without even making another XYZ. And that's the way the full combo works. You prevent your opponent to doing anything on his first turn. It's hard to be disrupted, and you just steamroll to the second turn. Now for the second replay is the worst case scenario. I didn't start it with a good hand and I had to figure out what to do. And those are the situations that make or break your deck. As you guys can see, my starting hand is not perfect. He summoned 2 elemental heroes. He's doing his thing. Dark Calling. He's setting up his board, and that's the unfortunate news. Malicious Bane. Malicious Bane can't be destroyed. He can destroy all my cards, and he gains attack out of it. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, so I'm in a predicament. Let's see how it unravels. So I activated Tsushikono. He discarded a good card for me. I have 2 level 3s. I summoned Cherubini so I could send something to the graveyard, and the card I sent to the graveyard was Malebranche. I activated the effect of Stained Grease and summoned Ancient Cloak. I used them to summon Rusty Bardiche. Rusty Bardiche he tried to interrupt me with Ash Blossom, and if that went through, it was over, but I had my Called by the Grave, so I just denied it. And my Rusty Bardiche put Fogblade on the field. And that's very important. Fogblade will deny his Malicious Bane ability, so I can finish him off. I kept doing my combo and recycling my Phantom Knights so I could summon and get access to my XYZ cards. I passed the turn because there was not much I could do, and this is where it gets interesting. He used Forbidden Droplet and is ready to attack me with all his might, and when he activated Malicious Bane to delete all my cards, I just stopped him from using abilities and attacking. So his Malicious Bane is basically a statue by now. On my turn, all I need to draw is a Phantom Knight or another level 3, and that's what I did. So I put them in the field, and I simply invoked Breaksword. Since Malicious Bane doesn't have his protection from destruction anymore because Fogblade denies it, I could destroy it and keep with my combo. So I used Fogblade in the cemetery to invoke a monster, and from there the guy has his hopes lost because I can just keep up in my combo and finish him this turn because he only has 6800 life. I kept with my combo and eventually the guy gave up. And that's how you improvise with this deck.